friends, it's Amy at Doki Doki Forest. Welcome. I'm so glad you are here. Now today I'm very excited to share with you a work in progress, a journal that I've created for #halloweenjournalchallenge. This is a challenge created by Kia Creates. I will link her channel as well as the playlist for the Halloween Journal Challenge down below because there are all kinds of creators sharing lots of cool ideas for the prompts that Kia came up with. Now, one of the things I love the most about this challenge is that there is a light and dark edition, and you can choose if you want to do the light edition, the dark edition, a little of both. You can customize it however you want. So I wanted to make a Halloween journal specifically for this challenge, and I knew I wanted to use one of my magazines that I've been holding on to after I go through and I harvest out the images. There's a few that have like thicker covers that I set aside for future journal potential. And I didn't just want it to be any journal, but I wanted it to be a shaped journal. And that's a technique that I learned from watching Janet Nash. I will link her down below, but she makes all kinds of awesome shaped journals like paw prints or a fox that she made for her friend Julia, a heart. She's done all kinds of different shapes, and I made a mushroom shape last year. And so I want to make a Halloween shape, but not just that. I wanted to come up with a shape that I could flip. So I could have one side be the light prompts and the other side be the dark prompts. So I had to come up with a shape that was flippable. So this is a flipping journal. I sat down and sketched some ideas. It was a little bit tricky to come up with something because the shape that I was going for wasn't an easily flippable shape per se. But I wound up coming up with something that I like. So as you can see, this side is a pumpkin, which I thought was going to be my light side, but that changed, as happens sometimes. So I just cut the magazine, put some gesso on, and then I painted it with just some acrylic paint. Now I am just playing with a combination of colored pencils and old crayons that my kids had that have just been sitting in a bin. So I like to try to use those on art projects. Might as well use them up, right? There's only so many candles you can make from old crayons. And I like that they give a texture. Not all of them show up too well, especially on this yellow acrylic, but they do show up a little bit. And like I said, it is kind of a neat way to add some texture in and, definitely inexpensive. So you can try to guess what will be on the other side. If you have a guess of, when you flip this, what it will become. But I am really excited about this challenge. I feel like making the cover was the thing that was kind of stalling me for a little bit. I took a bit to get into it. We're halfway through the month now, but I think I can do it. Even if I run a little bit late, I'm planning on completing this. And there's part of me that feels like now that the journal part of it's done, the coming up with the shape, cutting it, painting it, preparing it, I feel like now I can just jump into the prompts and kind of like, dive into it and just get through it pretty quick, I think. Maybe not, but I'm not going to pressure myself, but I am going to have fun with it. And I think I'm just really excited. I'm really excited to get in there and start making pages. And it'll be like all different mixed media. There'll be paint. There'll definitely be a lot of, collage, glue book sort of things. I'll be doing some illustrations and watercolor, stickers, of course, washi, anything goes in this journal. It's just going to be a mixed media extravaganza. And I tried to start coloring on the stem here before it was dry, so it you can see where it scratched the paint a little bit there. I was very impatient. I didn't want to keep waiting for paint to dry. And the way the stem is curved, it almost looks like hair. So that is supposed to be the stem, but I feel like it kind of almost looks like a little hair flop, which kind of works, you know? It kind of gives the pumpkin maybe a little more attitude. The white crayon really showed up. I like how that looked. Oh, and this was like a neonish color pencil, and that one showed up really nice as well. So I kind of keep going back with those two things. I felt like they brightened it up. And then I'm trying to add a little shadow with the brown crayon. That turned out like okay, but not really. So I went in with a colored pencil and just tried to define, you know, all those little sections of pumpkin. And then, of course, I had to come up with a face for the pumpkin. So I drew some eyes and a couple different mouths. I was trying different shapes, and I'll be honest, I did pick one of these mouths, but the eyes, even though I glue them on here, I did wind up changing them because I was like, I don't know if I like those. And I thought some shimmery watercolors would look nice, so that way it looks like it's kind of, you know, glowing in there. You've got the candle lit. So I did a little bit of yellow and gold, and then I did a little bit of orange, almost like a little tongue in the mouth, a little orange tongue, but it's faint. It doesn't stand out too much. And then, of course, we have to just, you know, spray some paint, get those paint little speckles all over the place. Those are very pumpkinish for details. And then I got my gold out, my gold watercolor. I thought it would be nice to add some shimmer here and there. Sometimes this gold looks more brown when you're painting it, but later when it dries, it's super shimmery. I love it. I love all of those colors, those metallic colors in that palette. And why not spray some of that gold as well? It's always nice to have a little extra shimmer, right? And this guy is just about done, and I'm going to show you the final product now, and you can finally see what the heck's on the other side. Okay, so here we go. We have our pumpkin who's all done. You can see all of that shimmer there. And you can see I changed the eyeballs and added a little blush. Now, again, that's when I thought this guy was going to be my light side prompt. But now, if we flip it, you will see on the other side we have this little happy ghost, this little jolly ghost. Oh my gosh, I really like how this guy came out, and he came out so jolly that I was like, well, I think this one actually has to be my light side. I thought the ghost would be my dark side, but it turns out this is the light side, and this is going to be the dark side, which I guess maybe because he has the fangs, there's a hint of that. But I mean, this does not look that dark. But that's okay. So I was really happy with how this came out, you know, because you just never know. Now, the only thing I will say is that it's very tricky to have a journal that has a white cover. I keep getting things all over, and then I keep having to touch up the white. So I'm wondering if I put like a Mod Podge on there, maybe that'll protect it more. I don't know. So there it is. And now I'm going to show you my title page, because that's all I've done so far besides making the journal. And I did make 2 different title pages. So there's one if you go in the light side, and there's another one if you go in the dark side. So whichever way you flip this, you will have a title page welcoming you in. But the prompts are only on the light side. So you open this up, and you have our little jolly ghost over here saying, "Welcome, friends. I'll be your host and guide you through the light side of the prompts." And it says welcome over here with little hearts, with a little ticket. Maybe that's your little ticket to get into this journal and wander through the Halloween stuff. There was an envelope already in here for the magazine. So I just I just decorated it, and I figured I can use this pocket and maybe tuck some Halloween stuff in there that I'd like to use. For the challenge, I used some of Kia's artwork here that she had. It had all this cool stuff all over it. So I have the note from Kia, and then this is just the painted envelope flap. Look at her lettering. I love that lettering. Oh my gosh, I wish I could. Maybe I'll practice. I can't really do lettering like that, but it's super cool. And I like that it has the date on there. This is my first time doing this challenge. And then, of course, the prompts are up there and the rules. And then I have, this is the light side. And some stickers. Oh, there's some little ghosty stickers there too. And that's the light side, welcoming you in. Now flip over to the dark side and you have go away. And you have this character saying, this is the dark side. You are not welcome. I will not guide you. And I hope you get lost. And you've got this sort of like creepy, spookier sort of interior in there. And a little spooky painting up there. And that is what I have done so far. I am very excited. I love the light dark idea. And I hope you like how I decided to capture the spirit of that with this flippin journal. And yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait to go and do more prompts. And don't leave yet. I have one more thing for you. It's a freebie. I have a freebie over on my Patreon, totally free. You just have to be a free member, no charge, no obligation, nothing at all. Just be a free member and you can download this spooky book bingo. I got to be careful of this candle and this paper, right? Spooky book bingo is there for you. You may remember my wonky cauldron from last year. They're back and they have a very quick bingo game to play with you. This is short. You only have to stamp 3. It's more like tic-tac-toe than bingo because I figured having to get 5 stamps would be too tricky because we're halfway through October. But the whole idea is that you read some spooky books for October, or they don't have to be spooky. It can be paranormal romance if that's what you like. And you try to find these things in the books, these prompts. It's like a haunted house, a vampire, a pumpkin patch, and so on. And then you can cut out your pumpkin and fill it in as you go. And it's just for fun. Now, if you get bingo, I say you get to treat yourself to some sort of an autumnal yummy, whether that's a pumpkin spice drink or an apple cider, or if it's like, a pumpkin muffin or apple crisp, something that you really enjoy, treat yourself. There's also some silly bonus stamps here. If you wore vampire fangs while reading, you were so excited about your book you howled at the moon, and you read by the light of a buzzing lamp in a science lab. So thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed seeing this flippin' journal. Please be sure to go over and get your free book bingo if you're interested. This is my thank you to you for being here. I really appreciate that you're here, and I wanted to just give you a little treat. So I hope you have fun with it. Let me know if you're planning on trying to do this. And feel free to take as much time as you want with this. There's no deadline. You don't have to read things before Halloween. You can read them at any point. So thank you again for being here. I hope you have a wonderful day, maybe a little spooky. And thank you to Kia for this challenge and these prompts. And I will see you again soon.